Independent zodiac signs ranked. Independent people are highly assertive and self-confident. They rely on their intuition and expertise to guide their decisions and do not usually ask others for permission to act. These individuals know what is best for them and prefer to work alone and under their own rules. They value their freedom above all else and won't jeopardize it for any reason. In addition, independent people are fearless and are not afraid to make mistakes because they know their experiences make them stronger and wiser. Watch on and find out which zodiac signs most fulfill these characteristics and which ones prefer to follow the example of other people to act. Starting with number 1, Aries. Some of the characteristics that make Aries the most independent sign are their self-confidence and courage. Instead, these individuals would make 1,000 mistakes and learn from them, then wait for others to tell them what to do. Even when people tell them it's a bad idea, they will still follow their heart and desires, for action and adventure drive them forward. In addition, Arians are optimistic and always see the bright side of situations, as long as others don't meddle in their affairs or tell them what to do. Moving on, number 2, Capricorn. Everyone knows how committed and hardworking Capricorns are, but few realize how independent they can be. This sign can survive for years on a desert island with nothing but a loincloth. They are amazingly resourceful and do not need people to feel fulfilled. They are comfortable in their solitude and know how to adapt to precarious conditions. So, Capricorn is one of the most independent signs, as their feelings are under control and their determination helps them stay focused and excel in all their tasks. Moving on, number 3, Aquarius. Aquarians are independent in both their actions and thoughts. They cannot be influenced by other people, much less follow any rules or regulations. These individuals have a rebellious spirit and do not follow trends or mainstream recommendations. They have their own unique style, and the only approval they seek is from themselves. They are not afraid to break the mold or raise judgmental eyes around them. Moving on, number 4, Sagittarius. The highest value for Sagittarius is freedom. These individuals need to be free enough to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and relying on other people could ruin these plans. Asking someone else's permission to get their way is something Sagittarians try to avoid at all costs. In addition, these characters can go to faraway places without even speaking the language and still adapt without anyone's help. They are confident in their own abilities and can embark on adventures or challenging situations without panicking, so they prefer to live without ties to follow their heart's commands. Moving on, number 5, Leo. Leo only depends on one thing, the desires of their heart. When they have a passion or a dream they want to fulfill, nothing can stand in the way, for they will use all their strength and courage to achieve it. These individuals did not come here to fit the mold or conform to what their family planned them for. Leo is not afraid to walk on their own as long as it means they can be true to who they are. The lion is authentic and does not need anyone's permission to live their way. However, sometimes they need the support of their peers to know that it has all been worth it. Moving on, number 6, Virgo. Virgo is one of the most independent signs of the zodiac because they are confident that no one does things better than they do. Virgo does their own research, knows all the facts, and understands different ways to solve problems before others do. So, you will never see them asking anyone for help. They are too independent for that, and deep down, they believe no one knows better than they do on how to proceed. Virgos draw clear boundaries between themselves and others and get very upset when someone crosses them. These individuals are fine on their own and plan to keep it that way for a long time. Moving on, number 7, Taurus. Taurus is somewhat similar to Virgo, as they know how to work independently and don't need to ask others how to proceed. Bulls are practical, down-to-earth, and hard-working. When they have a problem, they look for ways to solve it on their own and involve as few people as possible. These individuals enjoy their solitude and like to have things their way. Therefore, relying on other people puts them in a bad mood and frustrates their way of being, so they avoid at all costs any scenario in which they have to work in a team. Moving on, number 8. Gemini. Geminis are mutable signs that can adapt to any circumstances. They do not take criticism from others to heart, nor do they care what others think of them, although most of the time people can't figure out exactly who they are. These signs are independent for several reasons. When they want something, they look for all the ways to get it on their own without depending on other people for it. However, they are pretty friendly and often seek the company of others to hang out or ask them for advice on how to get out of a problem. But if they do not find anyone else, they will do their best to adapt to whatever they have to live with at that moment. Moving on, number 9, Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign that looks pretty independent and under control, but deep down, they crave the people's fusion and intimacy. On the one hand, their lust for power makes them set ambitious goals that only they can achieve, and no one dares to help them in this regard. However, when they fall in love, Scorpio loses all the power and autonomy they cherish so much and become entirely dependent on the times, desires, and thoughts of the other person involved. Moving on, number 10, Cancer. Cancer, like all water signs, is very sensitive and empathetic. They value their relationships, especially the closest ones, and feel very insecure when they find themselves alone and must act on their own. So, they often ask their friends and family for advice before proceeding, and they tend to stay in familiar surroundings where they can find people they trust. This dependence often causes them to miss out on suitable job opportunities. They are more afraid of progressing than of being stuck in the same place forever. Moving on, number 11, Pisces. Pisces spends more time dealing with other people's concerns than with their own affairs. These signs are incredibly volatile and can easily understand all points of view, preventing them from creating a solid opinion. In addition, these individuals tend to be insecure and don't fully trust their own judgment, so they ask other people for advice on what to do. Moving on, number 12, Libra. Libra is a diplomatic sign symbolized by the scales. These characters are the peacemakers of the zodiac and help others put themselves in each other's shoes and be more understanding. Now, Librans are famous for their indecisiveness and feel very insecure when they have to act on their own. They usually join up with more assertive people to show them how, and when those people leave them, Libra loses their sense of direction and doesn't know how to proceed. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.